Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the Games Cage. Today, I'm going to be giving you all my review of Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom. Let's cue that sick ass intro this game's got.
Nobody's gonna hold you down, Monster Boy, fighting for a future made of love and joy. All the good and evil trying to destroy, only you can save if you have faith in your brain.
Monster Boy, na 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 Monster Boy. So yes, Monster Boy. Thank you first of all to FDG Games for sending me a review copy of the game. This is a big deal for a small channel like me to actually get a review copy of the game, because it means I can get more developers' trust, because it just means that it was an amazing opportunity to actually get to play a game like this early and get to really give my full thoughts and play it and actually have a review for you guys on time. For those who don't know, Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom is a pseudo-sequel to the old Wonder Boy and the Dragon's Trap, which is a game that was, I don't remember which console it was on back in the day, but it was remade for the Nintendo Switch around the launch of the Switch, and it also had a similar cool art style. So it is basically, this game is basically a 2D action-adventure Metroidvania, where it is one huge map, and it's very Metroidvania in the sense of you can go to one area until you get the power, the ability of X number thing. So you play as this character named Jin, this fucking badass blue-haired looking dude, and basically you're going around because your uncle caused some chaos. Throughout your journey, you start transforming into these other animal creatures. So you'll turn into a pig, you'll turn into a snake, a frog, a lion, and a giant flying bat dragon thing. I don't know what the heck you are. And each of these different transformations has a different ability. So the pig masters in magic, so he'll have all the magic abilities in the game that you get throughout the game, like fire, or shooting electricity, or shooting little tornadoes. The snake can crawl through small little holes. The frog can swing on these certain vines that are around the environment. And the lion can kind of speed through areas, and he's kind of like the big tough one. And the bat can start flying through areas. So each character to Jin that he transforms into really gives him a unique ability and transformation to go through. And what's amazing about this is what surrounds it. First of all, this game's art style is phenomenal. As you can already tell by some of the footage I'm going to show here, the game straight up looks like a cartoon. Like, it is insane the point we've gotten with video games where they can just look like they are better than TV shows. Not only that, but the environments stick out so well. There's a beautiful beach area, there's this cool kind of sewer location you get to, there's a lush forest like with these huge ass trees and these giant vines you climb, there's like a crystal cave, there's a sky temple, there's a cool volcano. So while some of the areas will be familiar to people who play platformers, they do unique takes on them, and they have unique mechanics to them that make it really special. There's also some fucking awesome bosses, like you fight this giant squid, you'll fight a giant mushroom, you'll fight a toad whose ability will be like to suck you, like to use his tongue to eat you, and then you gotta like get your way out and damage his heart. So there's some really unique boss battles, really unique environments. It's also an action platformer at the same time, so you'll be fighting a lot of different enemy types you find, and you really have to think about what powers you use and what's better against what enemy. You also have stuff like upgrading your weapons, your armor, so there's a lot to the game. It's a meaty video game. I think it's about 15 hours. You could probably extend it to about 20 if you do everything, but I didn't do that. And yeah, it's just, the game really has just a beautiful charm to it. It's just a fun Metroidvania. I want to get into my flaws with the game. So the game is very puzzle heavy. Now, what I mean by that is it's very Zelda-like, where there are moments in the game where you're kind of going in a dungeon, right? And there are puzzles you have to solve to get through it. And I found some of the puzzles in the game to be a little obtuse. I found them to be a little frustrating. I found them to be sometimes aggravating to solve because of the other issue I have, which is the amount of micromanagement. So when you start the game, you can only be the pig. And when you're the pig, you're limited to the magic abilities you have. So you have to just think about using those magic abilities to solve puzzles. But once you start having the pig and the snake, you have to start thinking, okay, which powers am I going to use as the pig and then turn to the snake to solve this. But But then when you add the lion in, there's another thing you gotta keep in mind, which is like he can break bricks from on top or break bricks from the side. So then it starts to become a little overwhelming of how much micromanagement there is of like, okay, so I have to turn to the frog to swing here, then I gotta turn to the snake to get through there, and then because of that you're like mixing everybody's different control schemes, so it can get a little frustrating, especially when the previous room didn't necessarily have a puzzle that involved the same mechanics. So the ideas get really muddled in your head just because of how much it feels like there's micromanagement between all the characters you have to use and the types of puzzles that are there. But when the puzzles shine, they really do shine. There is a Zelda feeling of like, oh my god, I solved this and I feel like a smart badass. And once you solve the puzzle, again, you're usually rewarded with like a cool amount of money or a sick boss fight that the game really excels at. So while the reward is great, I just felt like sometimes the puzzles weren't fun. And which is really weird because when you do a boss battle and you die a lot, you will get like hearts that start coming out. Like they'll try to help you, help you get through it. But for some reason when you die during puzzles, there's no hint system, man, which is something I really wish there was. I wish there was a bit of a hint system of like, hey, maybe if you do this. And of course I know the argument could be get good, Fidel, and obviously I know that. But I just felt like the game could have used a bit of that hint system because I know people are going to get stuck and are going to get frustrated. And I know obviously in 2018 you have access to guides, but there's never a fun moment in a game where you have to be like, well, let me go online and search the guide of how to solve this puzzle, even though I'm looking at my school notes, whatever. Point is, with some frustrating puzzles and the micromanagement issue aside, the game just does an amazing job of taking to these unique environments, having a very comedic, lighthearted story. Obviously, it's nothing crazy, it's a 2D Metroidvania, it's what you'd expect, but it's just the amount of fun you have platforming, with the unique bosses, with the areas. I just felt like the game shined in a lot of places, and it just sucks that it was bogged down with frustrating moments where I was genuinely not yelling, but I was like, god, I wish I could fucking solve this until my 50th try. So overall, the score I would give this game would be an 8. This is a great game. It is not a must-have, but I think if you really love 2D platformers, I think this would be perfect on your Switch or your PS4. It looks gorgeous. It's absolutely stunning. Fuck it. 8.5 just with the music added up there. Again, really great game. Not a must-have, but definitely one of the best 2D Metroidvania games of the year. Especially since we've been getting a shit ton of them lately. It just feels good to have one that's fresh and unique like this. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of the game if you end up getting it. I hope I've helped you decide if you want to or not get it. And yeah, thank you all for watching, and we'll see y'all next time for some more reviews, more videos. Everything's coming together. The year's ending. It's crazy. Smash Bros is coming. I'm out. You're out. Subscribe. Do the thing.